In this video, I'll show you how to use SimDec dashboard, a very simple to use but super powerful tool for explorative data analysis. The dashboard lives here at simdec.io, and here's a tool for sampling and the SimDec dashboard itself. Let's go in, and it might take a while to load. We are non-profit, please be patient, and if you want to contribute to the development, you're welcome. We are open source. So there is some data preloaded, but I would like to show it on a new data set, and first let me show what I'm going to load to it. So I have here a simulation data from a simple model, and I recorded the Monte Carlo simulation data. In the first two columns I have my outputs, and in the next three I have my inputs. So practically you can have whatever amount of inputs and outputs you are interested in, and it's not necessarily have to be simulation data. It can be experimental data, survey data, empirical data, whatnot. But remember, it should be arranged in columns, and the first row are the names of variables, and please do not use any special characters for them, because then the dashboard wouldn't load. So all data in columns, numeric format and the CSV format. Let's see what happens when we load it into the dashboard. Now here is my data abc.csv. Opening it. The dashboard will read only CSV files. And now everything is updating, and we automatically get already some results here. Let's see if that's what we want to see. So first it shows us the distribution of the output. By output, it automatically considers the first column, and here you can change it in case it's something else that you want to analyze. And then it actually searches among inputs the rest of the variables in the entire data set on what's more influential. But here Y2 is not an input, it's an output, and I want to exclude it from this analysis. Here it is. So I now have only ABC selected. I used Ctrl to deselect Y2. And then dashboard calculates the indices, the sensitivity indices, and decomposes the distribution of Y by the most influential variables. Here they are, and we can see also the details on each state, numeric details, the boundaries, and it decomposes them in a way that we have an equal amount of data in each state. Or if the variable is categorical, then categories are the states. And here we have all combinations of the two variables as scenarios which are color-coded on the distribution. So, most important ones are by default selected, but here we can specify some other decomposition. For example, we want to explore B as a variable and how it influences the output. And here we can see that B alone doesn't influence it much. The scenarios overlap hugely, and it also corresponds to the low sensitivity indices. More on how to read the results of the SimDec in another video, how to read SimDec. See the link below in the description. So let's return the decomposition to A and C, which were the most influential inputs. And here, dashboard also tells us that together A and C explain over 90% of the output, which is a good explanation. And then we can also can play with the visualization. For the stacked histogram, we can change number of bins, more or less, depending on how you want to see. And we can play with limits of x-axis, either to zoom in to a certain range if there is a tail, for example, or we want just correct the graph to look nice and include the values at the beginning and at the end. There we go. And we also can change colors, and here only 3 main colors are offered, so we cannot change the shades, and shades are calculated automatically to keep the nice decomposition logic and easy perception of that decomposition. Then in case your distribution of y is highly skewed, unreadable, some scenarios may have little data, or in general you have little data and it's not very readable in this format, there is a box plot. Here we lose the shape of the histogram, of the distribution, but instead we see exactly where every scenario starts and ends, and where the mean is, and we can really neatly compare them between each other. But otherwise it's the same decomposition and they correspond to exactly the same scenarios here as in stacked histogram, the same 9 scenarios. And finally, if you have data with several outputs and you're curious how those two outputs, how the outputs pairwise interact, let's say, or what's their relationship, then there is a 2 output plot. Here we choose y2 as our second output. And there we go. It's the same decomposition for all. You see the colors correspond on both histograms and on the scatter plot. But here you are able to see how the same decomposition looks for the second output, and how the 2 outputs, what is the shape of relationship between the 2 outputs, whether they're conflicting, as could be costs and CO2 emissions, for example, or whether you are lucky and they're moving together and correlating highly. Finally, if you want to get data out of it, so simply click on the download button, and there would be another CSV offered for you. And here we have first indices. So these are the combined indices or closed ones, which are a combination of first and second order effects. These are first order effects for every variable, or their individual effects, and these are pairwise interaction effects. Then there is a legend, exactly as we saw it, in case you want to copy it to the tabular form, and then details on the states of the selected for decomposition variables. That's it. This is the SimDec dashboard. I hope you will discover cool, interesting patterns in your data. If you're planning to publish your research, please cite us. Our work is in the description. And also, if you want some support or just chat about sensitivity analysis or these tools, then come join our Discord online community. The link is below too. Thank you for listening.